So, hello and welcome back to another midweek chit chat. I didn't do a Sunday chat this week because I had a woodpecker fighting blue jays that was just too much fun not to put up. Also, Parky is just in a cuddly mood. He's like, lap time. It is definitely lap time. Which is really unusual because normally he is not a lap kitty whenever the camera is on. So I am soaking it up because he's also a warm kitty and he's purring really loud. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Let me bring him close to the mic. I don't know if you can hear the rumbles. He's a very rumbly boy. Anyway, how the heck are you guys? I'm doing okay. I got some news that if what I think is going to end up happening happens, y'all will find out about it as time goes on. I don't want to really say anything too much because nothing is set in stone yet, but things could potentially be changing here in the cabin in the woods. I think for the better. Although, again, like I said, it will be a big change. So we're just going to have to wait and see on that. I mean, change can be good, I think. It'll require a lot of reorganizing, but that's in the future and that's all getting dealt with. But other than that, it's still winter. The stupid groundhog saw his shadow, I think. But the Michigan groundhog supposedly didn't see his shadow. Not that I really hold much stock into either of those things, considering if the groundhog sees his shadow, there's 6 more weeks of winter. And if he doesn't see his shadow, there's only a month and a half left of winter. And I was pretty darn young when I figured out that 6 weeks and a month and a half were the same amount of time. So the groundhog is always right because he's a big old gyp. I always thought that was kind of funny, though. And I loved the movie Groundhog Day. And I also loved a lot of the different spins on it throughout the years in pop culture. My favorite being in Xena Warrior Princess. There's an episode that they did, I think in either the second or the third season, called Been There, Done That, and it was the Xena Groundhog Day, and it was hilarious. I absolutely loved that episode. Yes, I am a big nerd. Not only do I love Doctor Who, but I loved Xena. I loved Supernatural. All things nerdy. Haven't kept up with much pop culture because out here in the middle of the woods, I got rid of cable and don't have any of the streaming services because don't need them. I keep myself entertained out here. And one of the ways that I've been able to keep myself entertained is cooking. And as promised, I actually have a recipe that is so easy. I think you're going to like it. It takes 3 ingredients and you end up with chocolate truffles. I did 1 batch yesterday and I made those milk chocolate truffles. And then I did a second batch today. And I think the second batch actually came out better. And I don't know if it's because I did dark chocolate truffles today or if maybe I was just a little bit more patient and kept them in the refrigerator for a longer amount of time. But I did film yesterday, so we're going to watch that. I'm going to explain everything that I was doing, and then we'll come back and try one of each. How does that sound? So this has to be one of the easiest recipes I've ever done because you only need 3 ingredients. You need a 1.5 cups of some sort of chocolate. I chose milk chocolate chips. You need a 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream and about a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. If you're really lucky and you have a wonderful neighbor or you make it yourself, you've got some homemade vanilla on hand. If not, you can just use any vanilla that you have. And that's it for ingredients. I mean, you're going to have to top the truffles if you want them to have a topping, but I don't even think that's necessary. So the next step is to just measure out a half a cup of heavy whipping cream and set it into a heavy bottom saucepan and bring it just up to where it starts to boil. You don't want it to overboil and you don't want it to scald. So then we're just gonna bring that up to a bare boil / gentle simmer, and then we'll have the next step, which is pretty darn easy. Once your concoction has brought itself up to a nice simmer and you can see the little wisps of steam coming up and the little bubbles starting to form, you're going to turn off the heat, and immediately we're going to take that and pour it over our chocolate chips. So now you're going to leave it sit for about 10 or 15 seconds just for the chocolate to start to soften. And unfortunately, with me being left-handed, my hand is completely in the way, but I did figure that out after a minute. And it's going to look like it's not going to come together, but it doesn't take it very long at all before it comes together. You want to stir it until everything is incorporated. When it starts to get that glossy look to it, that's when you know you've mixed it enough. And then your next step is the one where I always have the hardest part, and that is the patience step. You're going to go ahead and pop this into the refrigerator for at least 2 hours. I honestly ended up today doing another batch of them, and I popped it in for about 4 hours today, and they firmed up even better. Once you do that, you're going to take a melon baller or 2 spoons and just kind of scoop them out onto a nice piece of parchment paper. When you get them all scooped out, you're going to pop them back into the refrigerator for another hour or so, and then you're going to roll them into ball shapes gently. You don't want to overheat them with your hands, and then put them into the coating of your choice and coat them. And there you go. And let me tell you, these things turned out so great. You can use any kind of topping that you want. I used graham cracker, coconut, nuts, and a cocoa powder. So that is it. And they turned out really good. I don't know which ones I like better, if I like the dark or the light chocolate better, but they're both absolutely delicious. See? It's really, really easy. It's a little bit time consuming, but only in the steps in between. The making of them is really, really fast. Once you heat that cream up and pour it on top of your chocolate chips or shaved expensive chocolate, like, don't let me stop you from getting the good stuff, but I'm cheap, so I just got chocolate chips. But once you do that, it's mostly just whisking it till it all comes together and then popping it in the refrigerator. So this is the milk chocolate truffle that I made yesterday. And as you can see, I didn't get the shape quite right. I think because I was impatient and I didn't leave these in the refrigerator as long as I did the dark chocolate truffles, which I think came out much rounder and just a much better size and shape. I was looking online and I looked at a bunch of different recipes for these, and some of the advice that was given was, or not advice, but topping ideas. You could probably do sprinkles. I did graham cracker crumbs, coconut, these are really good, nuts, and then This is dusted with just cocoa, which is really good. Just a baking cocoa. And the other one, the dark chocolate one, which I'm going to try now, I just dusted with powdered sugar. But you could probably do like pink and red sprinkles for Valentine's Day. Or I saw one recipe where you melt in the microwave dipping chocolate, and then you put it on a fork and dip it into the dipping chocolate and let the chocolate drip off, and you get a shiny coating on it. So then it looks a little bit more like store-bought. I don't know which one I like better. Normally, I'm a milk chocolate girl, but this dark chocolate is really good. And I just used the Hershey's chocolate chips. I didn't get the Toll House ones because I wanted the Hershey's, and it turned out really good. I wasn't sure because, I mean, I always thought the truffles were so hard to do, but these were really easy and they were really good. And you should 100% make your own chocolates to give to your loved ones for Valentine's Day. I got the seal of approval on these from both my son and my neighbor, who loaned me the melon baller so that I could scoop them, because I don't own a melon baller, which is kind of funny. So, yeah, these were totally worth it. Be sure and try them. Let me know if you do try them, how they turn out for you, because I think they turned out really, really good. And I think everybody should have chocolate. I love chocolate. Anyway, that's about it. Like I said, I'll let you guys know more as I find out more what's going on in the background. But everything should stay pretty much the same. It's just I might be a little bit distracted for the next month or so. We'll see. But most importantly, I have chocolate. I still don't know which one I like better. The dark chocolate is richer, but the milk chocolate is almost smoother. They're both really good though. Anyway, I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Please do leave me a thumbs up if you don't mind. It does supposedly help, and it makes me smile. Leave me a comment and let me know if you have ever made chocolates before. This was my first foray into actual, like, chocolate and candy making, so I think it turned out really good. I'm going to have to try more like that. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.